Welcome YouTube, this is Eminent Hero from DC Saints here to show you his Evil Hero deck. Of course, by the name Eminent Hero, you have realized that I am the guy on the team that uses heroes, which I have grown to like over time. Alright, let's get started. First we're going to go monsters. Neo-spacian Grand Mole. He's a rock monster. He can fuse in a dark guy if needed. Also, he can get rid of any annoying monster on the field if I return it into the hand. Next, Snipe Hunter. When he's on the field, I can basically just discard anything I want to try and destroy one card on the field by each card I discard. Now he's a fiend, so he can help fuse into Evil Hero Dark Gaia. Also, if I happen to discard a Rock and a Fiend or two Fiends, I can fuse into Malicious Fiend or Dark Gaia. So his effect actually helps me fuse too. Next, Morphing Jar. He's a rock type, so he can also fuse. Also, I can use his effect to discard fusion materials to the graveyard and also draw a new hand, and hopefully whatever I draw can help me knock out, like at least summon 3 Evil Hero Dark Guys or 2 at one time. Next, Gore's Emissary of Darkness. He's in here for backup just in case I have my field blown up. So he's basically a recovery monster, and he's level 7, so he can fuse into Dark Gaia, or he can fuse with Malicious Edge to make Evil Hero Malicious Fiend. Next is Gaia Plate the Earth Giant. Of course, he's in here because half my deck is rock and half is fiend. I can use him for field presence to beat down any stronger monster on the opponent's side of the field because he has the attack and defense of any monster that battles him. So a monster with 5,600 attack points or less, he will all either suicide or kill automatically. The monster has to have 5,600 or more to kill him. Elemental Hero Stratos. Okay, of course, this is a hero deck, so I don't have to go any further with that. Lava Golem. He's a fiend. He can help rid two of my opponent's monsters for free because his effect neither targets nor destroys because tributing does not target nor does it destroy. So he can basically get rid of 2 monsters for free no matter what. And also inflict like 1,000 burn damage for as long as possible. I got 2 of them. Next is Evil Hero Malicious Edge. Of course, being an Evil Hero deck, you need Evil Hero monsters in here. He's a level 7 fiend, so he tributes him with 1 tribute if my opponent controls a monster, and he's overrun. I have 3 of these guys in here because I run 3 Evil Hero Malicious Fiends, so he's a staple for the deck. Next, Kawaki Miru Guardian. I have 3 of these guys. They're level 4 rock monsters, 1900 attack. They're good beat sticks. Also, they contribute themselves to negate the activation of a monster's effect and destroy them, which is like Doom Caliber 9, but this one is optional, whereas Doom Caliber has to happen. Also, I have to reveal 1 rock monster in my hand to keep them on the field, which is no problem, because like I said, half the deck is rock and half is fiend. Next is Evil Hero Infernal Gainer. Of course, everybody knows what this card is for in an Evil Hero deck. It helps basically Dark Gaia or the fusions, like basically the fusions attack twice. You can also use it on any other fiend monster in your deck. I use it on Gore sometimes, and I use it on Malicious Edge sometimes. Next, Legendary Jujutsu Master. He's a rock. He can fuse and help make Dark Gaia. Also, I like to use his effect to return monsters to my opponent's deck. I call that a deck block. When you control what your opponent draws, then he'll draw the same card over and over again. So you'll never get the next card unless you happen to use the Reckless Greed or etc. Next is my spells. Card Destruction. It's just like Morphing Jar. I use it to draw cards and dump materials into the graveyard and hoping of drawing something new to help handle the situation. Heavy Storm. I mean, self-explanatory. Giant Trinity. I combo this with Card Destruction sometimes. Also, it's self-explanatory like Heavy Storm. Clear backfield. I use 3 Dark Fusions. I know it might be a little much. Sometimes I'm gonna try 2 to see how that works. If it works all right, I'll leave it like that. But for now, I'm using 3. It's been working just fine. 3 Dark Callings. For those people who don't know what Dark Calling is, it's the equivalent of Miracle Fusion for Evil Heroes. Except for you can fuse from your hand and graveyard and you remove the materials from play. And just like for Dark Fusion, I might use 2. I'm gonna try 3, and 3 is working fine. Next is Miracle Fusion. This is the newest addition to my deck since the last time of this video. It's actually in here for Elemental Hero Gaia. Elemental Hero Stratos is the only Elemental Hero in this deck And mostly all of this deck is rock monsters, besides Gores and Snipe Hunter and Elemental Hero Stratos, which are Dark, Dark, and Wind. Now my traps. Mirror Force. Of course, a staple to some people, just a necessity for others. Now it can go either way. Torrential Tribute. Now this is more like a stable card for any deck. Now, Drama Trio. I use this card to help the OTK with Dark Gaia. Being that my opponent might have some stronger monsters on the field, I'll just use a Drama Trio, use a Dark Gaia to attack, which forces the tokens to attack mode, and they all have 0 attack. So basically, that's some Dark Gaia with 3,700 attack points average. You'll be taking 4,000 with each attack, and that'll be getting right there. Return from a different dimension. This is in this deck because of the massive amounts of cards that go RSG in this deck due to Gaia Plate's summoning requirement and Dark Calling. I use 3 Reckless Greaves. I'm actually thinking about taking these cards out because I don't like skipping my 2 draw phases, but I mean, it's free. You draw 2 cards, get 2 draw phases. You chain all 3 of these together, you can draw 6 and skip 2 draw phases. So this card can stay in. It can come out inside deck use. It ain't really a big deal much. Next and last is Defense Draw. Basically, just to stop damage and draw a card, just to stall a little bit, just to see what happens on the next turn. I usually switch these up with something else. These are side decks. Now that's enough for my deck. Time for the extra deck, which I call the fusion deck because I don't have fusions in here. I use Elemental Hero Gaia. Now I only have 1 of these. I'm trying to get 2 more. So if anybody out there happens to have one they're willing to trade, hit me up, alright? Now he's in here just for the extra advantage I might happen to need later on in the duel. Like my opponent has a bigger monster, I'll just bring this guy out, fuse like Stratos and Dark Gaia to get him out. Something small. And then try to beat down that monster and hopefully it'll change the duel around. I use 3 Evil Hero Malicious Fiends. Now, some people might call it a Dark Gaia deck. It's not. I actually do use these guys against certain decks because he forces all your opponent's monsters to attack into it as they enter their battle phase. So decks that rely too much on attacking, I bring this guy out. Decks that rely on attacking directly, which is still the same as attacking, I bring this guy out. So monsters that attack directly will be forced to attack this and all the monsters along with it. Next is Evil Hero Dark Gaia. Everybody knows what this guy does. He gains the attack of the 2 monsters that made him. He switches all monsters to attack mode when he declares an attack, and he negates the effects. So he's the heavy hitter of this deck and the most problem to deal with. Alright, that's my deck right there. Give me a shout out to Team Blitzkrieg, because from what I heard, they like the Evil Hero deck, and I thank them for that. Like the decks he's working on too. And get a shout out to my man Derek, Adam, and Josh, also members of the DC Saints. Alright guys, have a good night, and I'll post up my next deck called, what's it called again? Child's Play, which is basically a Hero Kids OTK. It sounds funny. I thought about it, it actually works. Alright guys, peace.